してます。Okay, for those of you who's watching us on the Instagram, we are now live on the YouTube and Facebook right now. So if you want to join us, just go to the Facebook or YouTube. Hey everyone, welcome to the Knife for YouTube live today. Today we have a powerhouse of the Masakage knives. One of the most popular knife lines that we have, the Masakage Yuki, Koishi, and Kiri, a man behind those knives. Let me introduce the Yoshimi Kato-san. 今日はありがとうございます。Alrighty, so it's very exciting to have him on our show today. My name is Naoto. I'll be hosting all the interviews and have the questions. I'm looking at actually one of our live stream right now. I'll try to keep an eye out for the comments that you may have so that I can see you guys there. Let me find where the video is right now. Here you go. I found on the YouTube. Let me here. So if you have any questions, I do have a series of questions that I'm going to ask him first. So let me start doing that. But if you have any questions, just type that in here. So we may not be able to answer all the questions that you have, but we may be able to answer some of your questions. So hopefully, so if you have any questions want to ask to him, type that in there. I am going to look for one for the Facebook here. Here you go. So Facebook, all the questions that you have, but alrighty, Facebook people as well, write question here. I am going to leave your Instagram as well, but if you want to actually see the full interview, I'll ask you to go to the YouTube or Facebook. So I see the question right there, but that's one of the questions that I have on my list as well. So alrighty. Thank you very much for patience. Let's start. I usually ask, starting from who he is. Most people may know who he is and such, but let's ask who he is, what he does, how he got in, how long he's been doing stuff like that. So, 加藤さん、すいません、ちょっとずっと英語で喋ってて申し訳なかったです。一番最初にですね、まず、簡単な自己紹介からお願いしたいんですけども、お名前と、職業、多分皆さん分かってると思うんですけど、職業と、どれぐらいしているか、どれぐらい鍛冶屋ですね、をしているかっていうのと、最後、その後また、プラスで聞きます。
はい。
じゃあすいません、お願いします。
はい。加藤よしみと言います。年齢は今51歳になりました。鍛冶屋を始めて9年目に入りますね。
So he's Yoshimi Kato. He's 55-year-old. He's been doing this for 9 years. Now let's ask how he got into this business. じゃあですね、9年前に始められたってことなんですけども、この鍛冶屋っていうのはどうしてなられた？どうやって鍛冶屋になられたんでしょうか？
そうですね、結婚を機に一応加藤家に入りまして、当初は別の仕事をしてましたんですが、家の仕事は別にどちらでもいいと言われてたんですが、竹船ナイフレッジで、引き継ぎなんか とか、父親の年齢もありましたんで、この先どうするかっていうことで、せっかく2代続いてる鍛冶屋をね、自分の代で終わらせるのはどうかと思ったんで、継ぐ決意に至りました。
なるほど。So he got married to the Katos. Basically, he married to a daughter of the Hiroshi Kato-san. He was doing some other jobs before, but as Hiroshi-san gets older, seeing the future of the Takefunai village and all the such, he had decided to take over his basically business there. Since the Hiroshi, it was his business, or the Kato blacksmithing has been doing this for 2 generations. So the Yoshimi-san decided to take over the business to keep that tradition going. So let's ask like what he was doing before he went into the business. じゃあその先ほどなんていうんですかね、違う職されてたっていうことなんですけど、それはどういったことされてたんですか？
建設関係の監督業をやっておりました。
So he was actually the supervisor on the construction site. So he managed the people there as well. All right, we got the good comments there. Awesome. How much time? Okay, we'll get to that later on. So so he's been working as a blacksmith for 9 years, which is the relatively kind of short compared to some of the other blacksmiths, as well as the age that he started. He started at age of say 42, right? So let's ask how he felt when he started it. その9年前に始められたっていうことなんですけども、9年前っていうことは40歳超えてから違う業種ですよね。とかに入られたっていうことなんですけど、それに関してなんていうんですかね、プレッシャーだったり、どういった感じで始められましたか？
そうですね、やればなんとかなるかなっていう気持ちで入ったんですけど、みんなが若い世代の方が多かったんでね、最初はやっぱりできなかったことに焦りを感じて結構頑張ってやりましたね。
Right. So he was basically surrounded by a lot of younger people, and there were a lot of pressure because younger people learn fast. So he's actually tried very, very fast, very hard to catch up with those younger blacksmiths. Because, well, some of you may know he is working from a Takefunai village where the people like Takumi Ikeda-san or people like a Yukurosaki-san or other younger blacksmiths work at. So you see those people doing a really, really, really good job on the making knives and such, right? So, alrighty. So let's ask him some questions that I have. So, what do you like about your job? その鍛冶屋の仕事の中で、一番好きなことですね、基本的には。鍛冶屋として仕事をしていて、一番やってる仕事でもいいですし、なんていうんですかね、お客さんからの返ってくる声であったり、そういうことでもいいんですけども、一番やっててよかったなって思うことって何でしょうか？
そうですね、本当はやっぱり最後に仕上がった包丁を出してお客さんに使ってもらってものすごくいいっていう評価をもらった時とはものすごくやっぱり嬉しいですね。
So he loves the feedback from all of you saying his knives are fantastic. It's really surprising. I mean, he is very good. He's only taken over his father-in-law's business quite recently, and he produces such beautiful knives these days as well, and very innovative as well. So the let's like I always like to ask something like what type of steel he likes to work with and stuff like that. So or some like favorite lines to produce. So let's ask him what he likes to produce. じゃあいろいろ今いろんな包丁を作られてるわけですけども、いろんな違う鋼材だったり、いろんな違うその仕上げであったりっていうのあるんですけど、この包丁作って楽しいなとか、この包丁やっぱりこれはいいなっていう包丁ってあります？この鋼材、この鋼がいいな、これがいいなっていうのは何かありますか？
そうですね。大豆スーパーもいいと思うんですけども、スーパーゴールドは錆びにくく、かけにくいっていう感じでいいと思いますね。
So he likes the SG2, which is this guy here. So he likes actually this SG2 stainless steel made from Takefu special steel. This particular knife is fantastic, though. It's very nice and thin. He likes it because it doesn't rust and it keeps the edge really nice. And it doesn't chip as easy relative to some other type of steels as well. So his favorite is this one here. Let's ask what I like to know too, what he has in mind. What is he thinking while he's making the forging the knives as well? So for those of you who left the comments, questions, I will get that in a minute as well. But じゃあこの包丁を鍛造してる中で鍛造している時に考えていること、何をこう考えて、何をこう頭の中に置いて包丁を作ってますか？
そうですね。使う人はやっぱり使うときに負担にならないようなこのバランスといいますか、重さとかね、しっくり手に馴染むような感じで作れたらなと思っていつも作ってますね。
So he always think of the users, how the weight, balance, how thin, and when he forges them. So that's really always think of the users. Let's see. All right, let me just get through some of the questions that we have. I see some questions coming in on Facebook as well as YouTube. I saw the YouTube comments a little bit earlier, so I will start to get in some of the YouTube comments here. YouTube のから少し、すいません、ちょっとさっき聞いてた内容、ちょっとずつ変わってるんですけど、ありがとうございます。YouTube からいくつかコメントが来てます。ハワイから、ハワイからこんにちはとか、マニラからこんにちはっていうふうに来てます。ですね、どれが、ナイフ、how long entire process がでたけふ。これちょっと面白いですね。Paul from YouTube is asking how long does it take to make a knife or takes whole process to take. So let's ask him because it's very interesting. He is a blacksmith, but he does have actually a sharpener as well. His apprentices sharpens the knives. Also, he sometimes asks some other sharpeners to sharpen knives. So, YouTube でですね、ポールさんがこれちょっと答えにくい質問というか難しいんですけど、包丁位置を作るのにどれぐらいの時間かかりますかっていう質問なんですね。で、 これ難しいと思うんですけども、大体こう、1から10、その完成品ができるまでですね。っていうのは、大体じゃあ、1日に完成品が何丁できるかとか、そういうのって大体わかりますか？
難しい質問なんですけど、まあ、
じゃあ、加藤さん、単造1日どれぐらいできますか？
そうですね、朝からやってれば100ぐらいですかね。100丁ぐらい。一日、丸一日でね。
それがこう、まあ、そこから熱処理があって、研ぎがあって、で、
そうですね。
まあ、最後ガブバッといろんなことがあると、大体100が3日ぐらいですかね。
うん、3日ではちょっと難しいですね。焼き入れとかもあるって、やっぱ1週間もかかんないですけど、どっかその辺ぐらいまで。
Right. So it's a very interesting. So
うん、
I asked like him how long it takes to make a one knife, and it's like it's really hard because he forges and pass it down. There's heat treatment and all that such. So I changed the question and asked him how many can he forge in a day max, and his answer was about 100. So forging process basically it starts from the chunk of steel and spring hammer and it makes the knife shapes. From there though, they have to be a heat treated and sharpened and all the things, and probably the 100 so that takes about a week to finish. Although there are more people in the line working on them. So in an average, probably they can produce close to probably 60 to 80 knives per se. じゃあそのこう100丁誕生するじゃないですか。で、
はい。
こうバーっとこうラインというか流れてって、でも大体1日平均で60から70ぐらいっていうのは上がってくる感じなんですかね。
流れていけば。
ね、こう流れていけば。
材料にもよりますけど、まあ大体それぐらい
大体それぐらい。
なるものもありますね。
なるほど。I see. So it's like 60 to 70. Depends on the type of steel. Some steels take longer to sharpen, and some others, may take a little bit longer. For example, different finishes and such. But yeah, he says 60 to 70 is a kind of good average. Another one here. Let's move to the. Alrighty. So Martin, I will the Facebook asking how many steps does it take Mr. Kato to make his knives? Does he also?今 Facebook のマーティンさんという方から質問なんですけれども、
はい。
一丁の包丁を作るのにどれぐらいのプロセス、どれぐらいの何ステップ、何プロセスぐらい何工程ぐらいかかりますかと、あとは、私答え知ってるんですけど、加藤さんは、研ぎも行いますかっていう質問ですね。
工程の数は、細かいことを言うとちょっと実際ね、何度も資料を見ないと分かんないんですけど、ざくっとやると6、7工程ですかね。
それが鍛造工程ですか？
鍛造工程で、小丼まででも火作りと小丼で2工程ですよね。
それに間に歪み取りながらっていうの必ずね。
歪み取りはもう本当に冷炭処理の後になりますんで。
鍛造して、冷炭して、歪み取って、そうですね。細かいのに分けると細かくなりますよね。
そうそう、細かく言うと、もう本当に成形とかすり回しとか、いろんな言葉が出てくるんで、何工程って言われると、実際はものすごく10工程ぐらいあるんで、簡単に言うと、もう火作り、冷炭、で、もう成形で、焼き入れ、で、歪み取りして、 で、研ぎですね。
はい。Right. 加藤さんは、研ぎはされますか？
そうですね、たまに練習がてらにやってはいるんですけど、まあ、実際の商品になるためには、ちょっと、研ぎの方にお願いしますね。
メインは、
はい。
メインは。はい。
そうですね。
Alrighty, Martin, I got the good answers for you. So if you divide that into the bigger steps and processes, he was mentioning about 6 to 7 different steps. Although those like processes or steps can be broken down into the more smaller pieces. For example, he was saying, there's a forging, there's cold forge, there is a shaping and all that such, and also he also put the heat treating as a one. But heat treatment is actually done in at least 3 steps: annealing, quenching, and tempering. So as the sharpening, say for example, he did this sharpening as a one step, but I know that the sharpening processes takes grinding first, taking all the polishing, and there's more finishes and such. So it can be broken down to the more steps, and he's actually he doesn't really sharpen his knives. He passes it down to his either apprentices or the master sharpeners to finish his knives. So hopefully that answers your question, Martin, on Facebook. There are lots of questions. Thank you. Thanks everyone for watching and contributing questions here. Innovations, the intrigue, Kato-san, and knife making. Oh, that's so interesting. I actually wanted to ask one really thing. Actually, and one thing, because he only has been working as a blacksmith for 9 years. Lordy from our shop in Ottawa was asking, how come he's so good only working for the 9 years? Is teacher good? Was the teacher really good? What made him what he thinks made him such fast learner, a good blacksmith in that short period of time? So let's ask that. Sorry, I may actually miss some of the questions on the Instagram. じゃあ、オタワのですね、マネージャーのクリスが、ちょっといい質問くれたので、ちょっと聞きたいと思うんですけれども、なんていうんですかね、9年っていうのは、鍛冶屋さんでいうと、まだ短い方だと思うんですね。ただ、今見てるこの包丁だったり、小石だったりも、どの包丁を見ても、すごい素晴らしいんですね。
ありがとうございます。
これはなぜそんなに早く、なんていうんですかね、習得というか、できたんでしょうか。どういった努力があって、先生が良かったのか、加藤さんのセンスが良かったのか、なんでしょう。ちょっと難しい。
まあ、もともと僕が入った時にも小石とかはあったんですもんね。その頃にはもうあったんで、もともとの出来上がったものを見ながら近づくように、練習したというか、その頃にちょうど入れ替わりで黒崎くんが独立するってことで、1年間一緒に教えてもらったりはしてたんで、そんなのもあって、できるようになってったっていうことですかね。早くやっぱり覚えないといけないなっていう思いがあったんで、頑張ってやりましたね。
So, well, actually, it was Sean from Ottawa. Sorry, this such short period of time. He said, so when he started it, the Masakage, Koishi, Yuki, Kiri is already there, and he was basically mimicking what his father-in-law Hiroshi Kato-san was making, as well as the Yu Kurosaki-san. because the Yukurasaki-san used to work for a Hiroshi Kato-san, and he is Yukurasaki-san was the main blacksmith basically at the time when Hiroshi Kato-san was around, and he's still alive, anyways, by the way. So he learned so quickly working with the Yukurasaki-san. He get to actually work with him for a year at the workshop. So that's how, and he got a lot of pressure because a lot of young guys are around and they try to become very they were very good, but because he is the son-in-law, he has this pressure of becoming a head blacksmith pretty fast. So that's probably why. And I think he had a really good he was very talented, I think. 多分センスも良かったんじゃないかなと思うんですけどね。
ありがとうございます。
じゃあちょっと質問、多分前、これ聞こうかなと思った質問の中であったんですけど、Let's ask who he thinks is good blacksmith around him, or he thinks blacksmith. 尊敬する鍛冶屋さんであったりですね、その同業者の中でこの人上手だなとか、そういった方のってちょっと教えてもらえたりしますかね。
そうですね。
あと、それはなぜかと。
そうですね。まあ、同業者って言いますか、いつもお世話になってます、柴さんですかね。やっぱり刃物についてものすごく研究熱心で、ね、いろいろと僕らも教わって良くなった部分もありますしね。まあ、何でも会社の社長としてものすごくうまくやってますし、いろいろ尊敬できるすごい人だと思ってますね。
ありがとうございます。So he really liked Shibata-san, who is the man behind the Masakage knives, kotetsu, and some special knives like tanks. He really respects Shibata-san because he is very keen on, say, the research. He really is enthusiastic about what he does. He loves the Yoshimi Kato-san himself learned a lot from the Shibata-san about the knives and such, and I guess he's also a mentor of him as well. Let's go to some of the questions. I may not get to answer all of these, but I will kind of try to see. Okay. Alrighty, there are lots of questions. I'm gonna go. So some questions that I can answer. Adam Gonzalez from the Facebook, he does have the knife line. That's his. Search Yoshimi Kato on our website. We do have his knives. We'll have the garage sale starting on the November 16th. So all the knives that we are kind of started stockpiling will be on sale starting on November 16th. And let's not. This is very interesting. The D-Hop 310 asking any new innovation that intrigue Kato-san in knife making. I'm very interested in that as well. So let's ask. じゃあすいません、長かったんですけども。ですね、この D-Hop310 っていう方がYouTube の方なんですけども、
はい、
何かこの最近出た革新的な、なんていうんですかね、技術革新だったり、新しい鋼材であったり、何かこう、新しいもので挑戦してみようかなっていうのはありますか？それとも、白紙だったり青紙だったりっていうその炭素鋼をもともと長くずっと使われている鋼材っていうものの方がいいですか？まだその新しいものに行くよりもずっと培われてきている技術を継承というかしていく方がいいですかっていうような質問なんです。
そうですね。まあ新しいものは 材料がね、出ればね、もちろん挑戦もしたいですけど、まあ実際のところまだ注文がいっぱいあってね、なかなか新しいものもなかなかやってる時間もないって言いますか、まあ今のものをしっかり作っていくってことも大事だなと思うんで、もっといいものを作っていこうと頑張ってますね、今のところは。
なるほど、なるほど。So he says he would like to try some of the new stuff, but he's got the lot of knives in order that he has to finish. And what he thinks is that by producing the knives that's in order one by one, making it as good as he can, and that's how he can progress as well. So that's how he thinks right now. Maybe in the future, you know, we like to ask, if he's made a perfect knife yet, but yeah, let's ask. なんだったっけな。スプリングハンマーっていうドキュメンタリー映画でですね、あれ、
はい
吉見さんのちょっと前だったんですけど、
はい
アンデュさんにこの
はい
質問聞いたことがあったんですけど、
はい
こう鍛冶屋として職人さんとしてこうなんていうんですか、この一本っていうものっていうのを今まで作れたことあります。こう完璧な包丁って聞いたりするんですけど、この一本は良かったなって、これは良かったなっていうのを経験としてこう感覚としてってありますか？
難しいですね。まだそういう感じのものはまだ出会ってないですかね。まあ中にはものすごくいいのもあったと思うんですけど、なかなかこの一本って言われるとちょっとなかなか選ぶのにちょっと難しいですね。
そうですね。He hasn't really seen that the perfect. I mean, he made really good ones, but I asked like if he's made the best or the perfect knife ever before, but he's like, he's only been doing this for 9 years, and he probably had a really good ones and lines, but he hasn't really seen. He hasn't made that the real super the perfect one yet. All right, we have a lot of Hawaii people from Hawaii watching. That's great. Oh, this is a very interesting question. Sebastian from YouTube is asking, is there any knife shape that are more challenging to forge, shapes and such? So, じゃあこれこのいろんな包丁の形を今作られている中で、この包丁はちょっと難しい、この包丁を誕生するのちょっと難しいなっていう形とかっていうのありますか？
そうですね。幅広な切りはちょっと難しいですかね。
幅広な切りっていうのは、
いわゆるまさかげのな切りですね。
そうなんですね。
そうですね。
そうなんですね。
特に V 切りシリーズなんかは難しいですね。
なるほど、なるほど。それはどうしてですか？
どうしても割れやすいんでね。
V 銀銃の。
V 銀銃は単造で割れやすいんで、ちょっと難しい部分はありますね。
なるほど。It's very interesting. Yeah, he said the nakiri, the Masakage nakiris are a little bit more hard to forge as they are a little bit taller than the conventional nakiris. The conventional nakiri, I have it here. これは普通のサイズですからね。
これは普通のサイズですね。
Conventional nakiri is something like this. Masakage is actually, it's about centimeter taller. So they have to forge in this direction a little bit more as well. And he said actually a very interesting thing. He found he thinks forging a VG10 Damascus like a Masakage Kiri series is a little bit hard to forge because it doesn't stretch as easy and also it's easier to crack. So it's very, very interesting. Alrighty. Design collaboratively, that's the create design which he forges. It's the hop. I will get to that later. Adam from a Facebook is asking is this Kato-san or his wife do the most of the cooking in the home, or what kitchen knife their favorite to use? That was one of the questions that I had here as well. So let's ask him. ご家庭では、加藤さんお料理ってされますか？
あまりしないです。
基本的には奥様が。
そうですね。
じゃあですね、その
はい
奥様、加藤さんの吉見さんの包丁使われてますか？
そうですね。うちで不良になったものを使ってますね。
どれが一番使ってるとかっていうの分かります？どれを一番？
そうですね。要包丁がメインなんですけど、やっぱりどうしても扱いが雑なんでね。濡れたまま置いとく感じなんで。
ステンレス。
ステンレスで一応要包丁タイプ。
フ
フィン止めの。
はいはいはい。
そうですね。フィン止めのタイプを使ってますね。
なるほどなるほど。So Adam, or everyone, he doesn't cook much. Most of the cooking is done by his wife, and she uses the knives that he made, but she is not as gentle to the knives as much as as not as gentle. So she uses the one that's stainless with the Western handle, and also she uses a knife that's the slightly defective that cannot be sold to the end customer. So it's very interesting actually to hear. Does she? I don't know if she actually gives him any feedback. その奥様から包丁を使われてて、いや、これあまり切れないねとか、これいいねとか、そういう、なんていうんですかね、フィードバックというか、そういうのってありますか？
そうですね、もう1ヶ月ぐらい使うと、もう切れないっていう文句が言われますね。
So she uses about a week, about a month, and complains that the kind of it's not sharp anymore. I mean, she's probably a little bit spoiled. 多分鋭いというかいい包丁に慣れてらっしゃるので少し切れ味が落ちただけで多分あれなんだと思います。普通のご家庭の方で1ヶ月ってなると1ヶ月経っても多分奥様の切れないは他の人の全然切れるのあれだと思います。I think she's spoiled that after a month, I think when the regular people saying it's not well. If she's saying it's not sharp, I'm sure all other people will still think it's still relatively sharp. Okay, I got I know it's really hard to keep up on some of the yeah, that's good. The questions. I got some questions that here as well. We asked what he likes about the knife making, right? He likes the feedback from the customers or end users, but let's ask him what he likes the least about the knife making. じゃあカズさんさっき包丁作りっていうかその包丁鍛冶屋になってですねこれ好きだなとかっていうことを聞いたんですけど。逆でですね、これ辛いなと、これは大変だな、これはこの今鍛冶屋やってて、これだけはちょっと大変だなっていうのって何かありますか？
これだけは大変だ。
辛いな。
そうですね。まあ VG10 とかスーパーゴールドなんかは鍛造するとものすごく硬いんで、何十本もやってくると手が痛くなってくるとかそういうのはありますよね。
でもなんか暑いからあれだなとかそういったのはあんまりないですか？
暑いのもありますからね、夏はね。もう火が背中にあるんでね。
So yeah, he I guess he probably enjoys it. All I could actually got out of him was that when he's forging the VG10 or SG2, it's really hard because it doesn't stretch as easy. And also, I kind of asked him like, isn't that hot in summer? And he said it's really hot. But I guess he doesn't really much mind making. 包丁を作るの and ask like him like if he likes making knives. 包丁作るの好きですか？
そうですね。楽しいですね。
He actually really enjoys making kitchen knives. He smiled right away at them. So yeah, it's great. I ask everyone every blacksmith, every person who do interviews with, what it's not only that the knife making, but we like to ask like what he likes to do outside of his work or stuff like that. So let's ask, like there's a couple of questions that came in on Instagram as well. I got some questions on the sheet as well. So let's ask him what he likes to do on his day off, or what his hobby is. じゃあ大体皆さんいつも聞くんですけども、鍛冶屋であったり包丁のことばっかり聞くのもあれなんで、やっぱり加藤さんっていうのはどういう人かっていうのをみんなに知ってもらいたいので、趣味であったり休みの日は何されてるかっていうの、そういうのを教えていただけますでしょうか？
そうですね、もうここ何年もっていうとあれですけど、ほとんど仕事ばっかりしてるんで、趣味と言えるものもほとんどないんですけど、たまに走ったり、冬はスキーに行ったりっていうのは昔はしてましたね。
So he's very busy. He's working tirelessly. He used to go jogging or running, and he used to go skiing a little bit. What's the I want to ask what makes him happy, like besides work? Like me, I love food. I love some good quality drink and such. So let's ask him. じゃあじゃあ趣味っていうかは置いといて、例えば私だったら食事するの食事するのも好きだし、私は料理するんで料理するのもあれなんですけど、でお酒も飲むのでいいウイスキーが入ったとかそういうのってあるんですけど、そういったものって加藤さんにとって人生で加藤さんの人生に潤いを与えるものって何でしょうか？
寝る前のビールですかね。
何飲まれますか？何か銘柄これはもうずっとこれだっていうのあります？
年っていうかね、何年かに変わっていくんですけど、口がちょっと慣れてきて、いろいろ変わっていくんですけど、朝日だったり札幌の黒ラベルだったりとか、そういう感じで変わってはきてるんですけど、ビールはよく飲みますね。はい。
He loves beer, like everyone else. I asked, what enriches his life. Myself, like cooking, drinking. But he said the beer right before he goes to bed. That keeps him going. Very good, actually. I'm gonna go back to some of the questions that we have. Brian Cook がっていう YouTube で見られてる方が私小石の文化持ってます。とてもいいです。ありがとうございますっていうふうにおっしゃってますね。
ありがとうございます。
で、Sam, that's Sam. どうしようかな。Let's ask, do you have 310, the Masakage knives? Let's come, because the Yoshimi Kato-san started working after Masakage has been created, and we can definitely talk about the Masakage knives. But if you want to know about the story of Masakage, we should have the story on our page there. It's actually collaboration with between Shibata-san and the Kevin, the shop, the president of Knifeware. Alrighty. Alrighty, so this is interesting as well. Derek is asking he loves his knives and wondering if there's any types of steel that he hasn't tried that he would like to try, or some other shapes and such. YouTube のデレックさんが、質問来てるんですけども、何本か加藤さんの包丁も持ってられてすごい好きだっていうふうにおっしゃられてるんですが、今この、先ほどもちょっと聞いたんですけども、このいろんなタイプの鋼材で作られているじゃないですか。いろんな今シェイプも作られてるんですけど、その中であえて今この挑戦してみたいなっていう、例えば鋼材であったり、挑戦してみたいな、こういうのちょっと作ってみたいなっていうようなその形であったり、これ面白そうだなっていうものっていうのは何か今ありますか？
難しいですね。
何か今新しいもの、最近はね、切り付け型の包丁がたくさん出まして、
そうですね、もう、切り付け型もね、作っていきたいなとは思ってますけど。
あと、あれですかね、洋絵の包丁も最近いろんなことされてますよね。いろんな、
そうですね。
杉の絵のもの。
いや、海外なんかね、ちょっと乾燥が強いんで、どうなんかなっていうのは思うんですけど。
なるほど、なるほど。
できるだけやっぱりアクリルとかそういう乾燥に強い材料の方がいいのかなとは思いますね。
Talking about the blade, he couldn't really mention anything super new, but I asked him if he's interested in more in the Western style. He's producing knives that with the acrylic handles that it's really strong against the like dryness here, especially like in prairie provinces. It's super dry, so it doesn't shrink as easy. He has been to our stores in Canada a few times, I think 1 or 2 twice, and he even did the summer tour a couple years back. Adam from Edmonton is asking if there was any cities that he liked better than the other cities. カナダに1回、2回来ていただきましたっけ？カナダは
2回ですね。
2回。で、いろんな都市、カルガリーにも来ていただきましたし、エドモントンにも来ていただきましたし、バンクーバーとオッタワも行かれました。
行きましたね。
エドモントンストアのアダムからですね、どこの街が一番良かったかって聞いてるんですけど。
どこの街ですか？どこもいい感じだと思いますけどね。ね、
ここはもうカルガリー。
カルガリーですか？そうですね。カルガリーもね、住宅街も綺麗ですしね。いいところですね。静かで。
He's very nice. He said everywhere is nice, and I try to try make him say Calgary because I live in Calgary, but he's like, yeah, Calgary is nice as well. Alrighty, let's see some other questions that may have here. Oh, there's the what region of the world are the greatest chef knives made? Does the region differ? If I'm looking for okay, I don't know, Malcolm, you can hear about the chef's knives are made in Japan. That's probably the best one. So if you look for one, like go get the knife, go to knifeware.com, you have a lot of Damascus steel knives. Alrighty, there are a few questions here and there. Let me see. Oh, since we're in the pandemic right now, let's ask him how he's doing during this hard time. さっきちょっとこうカジュアルな感じで最初にこのブロードキャストやる前に聞いたんですけども、このコロナの関係でどうでしょうか。コロナの関係どんな感じですか。
そうですね、最初の2月、3月はね、ナイフウェアさんもお店ちょっとクローズしてるということで、少し若干止まるのかなっていう感じもあったんですけど、その後変わりなく続きましたね、以前と同様にね。で、おかげさまで今も全然以前と変わらない注文でありがたくやってます。
Right. So when the pandemic started, when and everything, everyone started to shut down, he was very worried, and there were even some cases around him as well. But now things, especially in Japan, has come back to a little bit more normalcy. So he appreciates that things are starting to become normalized a little bit. Malcolm on Instagram asking, so the Hiroshi Kato-san is from the Echizen, Japan. He makes the knives like these beautiful blade, like almost like chevron Damascus, super thin, really nice steel. There are 5 main places that's really famous for knife making. Echizen is definitely one of the best one that makes the very, very thin blade. Find a smith, create a custom blade. Which city? Japan. Would you go? Yeah, the city of Echizen. Go there. They do have really nice facility. They just built the new facility open for people to come and visit. So it's fantastic. Alrighty. So alrighty. Razor Sharp Hawaii. Good that you're here. Is asking, and I'm pretty curious. About what's his favorite food, and fantastic. I think so. I agree. I agree to ask that. 加藤さん、これもちょっとパーソナルなというか、包丁関係ない質問なんですけども、
はい、
なんだっけな、好きな食べ物は好物は何でしょうかっていう。
好物ですか。
はい。
好物。そうですね。今、まあ日によってコロコロ変わるんでね。
そうなんですか。じゃあこれがあったらいいとか、これだけあればいいとかってないですか。
まあ高知のカツオのたたきはものすごく美味しかったなっていう覚えはあるんですけど、ね。あれは美味しいですね。
あれはすごいですね。あれはびっくりしましたね。
いくらでもお酒もつきますね。
1月に2月にたまたまちょっと行く機会があって食べたらもうね、わあ、あんな違うもんかと思いましたね。
そうですね。
There you go. Yeah, so well, we're just talking about the food, but the tataki, the bonito tuna, for those of you who may know, bonito tuna is small. If you go to the prefecture of Kochi, they have best seared tataki bonito tuna, and that's like, I thought I never had one before, and when I was back in Japan in the January, I get to go to Kochi and finally ate the thing there. Fantastic, and he just mentioned that was like the best thing he's ever ate before, and I agree. I thought I knew a little bit about the katsuo no tataki, but it was like completely different thing. お酒も飲まれますか？ビール以外に。
そうですね。バーボンとかそういうのも飲みますね。
So
ウイスキーか。
he likes whiskey and bourbon as well, not only just the the beer. You know, one of the Canadian Albertan or Calgarian whiskey was just the chosen to be the one of the best whiskey in the world this year. 今年カルガリーのですね、
はい。
あるウイスキーがですね、世界で一番になったんですよ。
ああ、そうですか。
ケビンに言っておきます。
はい。はい。
ケビンに言っておきます。
はい、ありがとうございます。
25年もののあれで、なかなかライウイスキーなんですけど、
ライですか。
のカナディアンウイスキーでとっても、私も飲んだんですけど、とってもアルコール度数の割にすごくスムーズで、はい。Alrighty, that's right. I'm just going to go through some of the questions there. Some of the questions that I can just quickly answer. Gerhard in Facebook asking, like, is everything is done by Kato-san? He has apprentices and also sharpening process done by the different sharpeners as well. So sharpening process is usually done by different people, and he is a great blacksmith who forges, but he doesn't really do much sharpening. Another question here. Some questions like say, that's actually very interesting. I'll come to that, Anthony. But yeah, the D-Hop 310, whatchamacallit, the Masakage knives are creation of the Shibata-san and the who is it, the Kevin. Also, the D-Hop 310 is asking if is there any chef that uses Kato-san that he's proud of? 加藤さん、あと何問かだけにしようと思うんですけど、これちょっと面白いので聞こうかなって、YouTube で来てる質問なんですけど、加藤さんの包丁ってもう、いろんなシェフ、プロの方にも使われてると思うんですね。
はい。
で、プロの方で、この人をこんな人が使ってくれてんだみたいなってありますか？この人使って嬉しいなみたいな。こういう人が、なんかこの有名なシェフであったり。
そうですね、その辺僕はあんまり詳しくないんでね。なかなか。
そうですね。Like a lot of craftsmen in Japan, they don't get to see the end users. And D-Hop 310, I've actually talked to some of the people there as well, but they don't get to see the end users. They don't usually see who actually uses his knives and such. So the Yoshimi Kato-san doesn't really know. But I can assure you though, one of the Masakage Yuki and Koishis are used super widely in the world right now. 多分こう有名な方っていうのは多分わからないかもしれないですけど、雪と小石、特にですね、雪と小石に関してはもう世界中で本当に世界中で愛されてる包丁なので、いろんな方に使われてる包丁です。
ありがとうございます。
あとちょっと面白い質問があったんですけど、I was just gonna get to final few questions. I don't want to, bother his work as much. I saw some very interesting question that came on the YouTube. Where was the that was. Okay, sorry, it was one of the first ones that the Anthony asked, asking if someone from outside of the Japan, I guess wants to become a blacksmith. If asking like, is it possible for foreigner like him to work at the Takefu Knife Village, or how or where and how, that kind of stuff. The very interesting, because the a lot of people are starting to get into the those knife making and such. じゃあこのちょっと面白い質問なんですけど、このアンソニー、YouTube から来てる質問なんですけども、
はい
こう今、タケフナイビレッジってこう門戸開かれていろんなこう若い方が来られたりしてるじゃないですか。で、
はい
彼が聞いてるのは、その中で、例えばこの外国人の人がこう入ってきて、そういったことも受け入れてるのか、その外国人で日本で学びたい人の受け入れってどうなんだっていうふうに聞いてて、どうでしょうか、今。
そうですね、なかなかなかったですね、今までね。
でも来ても全然って感じですか？どうですか？
そうですね、まあ、何年いるかですよね。
はい。
1年ではちょっとっていうのもありますし、
うん
まあその辺はね、一緒な組合でやってるんで、みんなと相談して決定する感じもあると思います。
So I mean if you're just there for a year, it's certainly it's not really easy. But if you're serious, if you're gonna stay there for various number of years, train down there, they'll consider they'll definitely gonna open the door for them. I've known some of the workshops like it's not Takefu, but some other workshops are hiring some people from outside of Japan as well. I've seen people from France, people from Australia, people from the United States go to those places to apprentice, or so there are quite a few places that started to open up their doors to the other people from outside of Japan as well. So very interesting. Oh well, it's the 7 o'clock. Yeah, I know Yamazaki is hard to get. It's 7 o'clock. It's been an hour. It's great, very great hour that we get to ask lots of good, cool questions. Did I? Yeah. This is great. Saigo, let's ask this Sebastian. You're asking very good question, and I think it's gonna be great to end this whole thing. Sebastian's asking if Kato-san has a plan to carry his legacy, his father-in-law's legacy to the next generation. And I think this is going to wrap up this interview really, really nicely. これ最後の質問にしましょう。ブロードキャストとして。すごい、いい質問だと思ったんで、ちょっとこれ最後に聞きたいんですけども、YouTube でセバスチャンが聞いてるのがですね、この、今さ、吉見さんで、3代目になりましたね。で、今、これ聞いてるのが、この、加藤、今、加藤内刃物ですかの、この伝統、今3代続いた伝統を、次の世代につなげるっていうような、ビジョンであったり、何かこう、プランであったりっていうものは今、何か考えてありますか？
今現在はまだないですね。まあ娘なんでね、後継ぎはまだ決まってないんで、まだここ10年ほどはまだ頑張れると思ってるんで今のところは考えてないですかね、まだ。そういう時が来たらまたぼちぼち考えていくって感じになりますね。
He can't really think of it right now. He has a daughter, and he hasn't thought of it yet. It's probably in the next 10, 20 years when because he's still 51. He's one of the younger people in that generation and working really, really hard right now. Hopefully, I would really hope that it's going to, this legacy, not only his like his father-in-law's legacy, or but it's going to be kept and keep going to the next generation. Alrighty. Well, that wraps up I think, nicely. So thanks everyone for watching. I really enjoy this live interview. I would like to keep doing it with the many different blacksmiths to come. I have been talking with some of the younger people, like Ikeda-san, hopefully, or someone like a Matsura-san from the Tojiro. So there's going to be more to come, and this interview that you are watching right now is going to be stay on the YouTube or the Facebook, and also I'll be working on the subtitling and editing. So once it's all edited, you don't have to bear watching like an hour interview with the with interactions. That's kind of weird. So stay tuned. I'm still working really hard on putting the subtitles on, but hopefully it's going to be out pretty soon. So thank you everyone watching. カノさん、今日は本当にありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
すいません。この皆さん、今日はずっと30、全部で多分トータルで40人ぐらいずっと見てもらってるのかな感じで、大変盛況に終わりました。すいません。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
ライブだけ一回閉じます。Well, thanks for watching. See you later.
ありがとうございました。
ちょっと待ってくださいね。